Islmic and Informaive ke Nazran, Umid Karna ho ke aplog the ho gay. Ajar apne abi tak hamarat channel Informaive subscribe na to please subscribe kardaya. And video ko last tak ke thank you. To chuli cholti hay apne ajka topic ki turf.
नाकाम। बीबीसी के प्रोग्राम हार्ट टॉक में एंकर के ताबड़तोड़ सवाल मफरूर इसहाक डार सटपटा गए। एंकर ने सवाल किया, आपकी और आपके खानदान की कितनी जायदादें हैं? इसहाक डार ने 2 मरतबा ये कहा कि सिर्फ एक। फिर सवाल हुआ कि लंदन और दुबई में कोई जायदाद है? तो इसहाक डार ने कहा, हाँ, बच्चों का भी एक विला है। एंकर ने वापस जाने का सवाल पूछा तो बोले, बीमार हूँ। इसहाक डार ने नवाज शरीफ को मासूम साबित करने की कोशिश की तो एंकर ने टोक दिया, कहा नवाज शरीफ सजा याफ्ता मुजरिम हैं, तिबी बुनियादों पर लंदन आने की इजाज़त दी गई। इसहाक डार ने इलेक्शन 2018 में धांधली का रट्टा लगाया तो एंकर ने फिर उन्हें आईना दिखा दिया। मॉनिटर्स की रिपोर्ट के मंदरजात बताकर कहा, इलेक्शन में इमरान खान का इंतखाब शफाफ था।
Family owned.
So I haven't got too many properties.
How many properties do you and your family own?
One.
One property. You and your family own
Yes.
one property. Multiple properties owned by your family inside Pakistan, property interests overseas, including in Dubai. Wherever, and we're sitting in London. We're sitting in London. You own nothing in London?
No.
Your family, not just you, your family.
No, not at all.
Own nothing?
No, because
and
you
Dubai?
see, the government...
Dubai?
My sons have just one villa.
When I asked you how many properties you and your family own and you said one, that wasn't strictly true.
No, it is strictly true because they're adult.
If all of this is so clear-cut, you only own one property in the entire world. Your tax records have been kept and given to the authorities over the last 20 years. If everything is so crystal clear, why do you not go to Pakistan and make this case in a court of law?
I'm here for medical treatment. I have a cervical issue.
Are you still really suffering?
Yes, I am.
And you couldn't possibly get back to Pakistan?
Well, let's see what's happening in Pakistan. Where are the human rights? What's happening in NAB custody?
You're saying
there's
that
a
people
human
being
rights
investigated. Nawaz Sharif is also in London, also on medical grounds. He,
manhandled by the NAB.
Well,
in his custody.
Manhandled, you say. Yeah. The truth is, Nawaz Sharif is a convicted criminal.
In both judgments, it has been written that the prosecution has not been able to prove any corruption?
I'm sorry, sir, but it is quite clear that he is a convicted criminal. And again, the Accountability Court, which works alongside the National Accountability Bureau, found against Mr. Sharif. I believe he was given a 10-year sentence and that was reduced ultimately to 7 years. He was then allowed to come to London on medical grounds, the same medical grounds that you brought you to London too. So here the 2 of you sit. And now you and he, you of course used to be his finance minister in the Pakistan government, you and he put yourselves forward as leading voices in the opposition in Pakistan, demanding early elections and an end to Imran Khan's government. And I ask you, what credibility do you think you have with the Pakistani people?
I think what credibility Imran Khan government has. The world has witnessed that it was a stolen election, it was a rigged election. It's not we are saying, we have experienced. All pre-poll 2018 surveys indicate the PMLN will win. But the observers, the Human Rights Commission of Pakistan, the dirtiest election. Everybody knows the election has been stolen. So I think we have every right.
I just looked back at the EU monitors report on that election. They reported some grave concerns about abuses in specific places, not involving just one party, but several different parties. But the final and ultimate conclusion was that they believed the result was credible, that Imran Khan's election victory in 2018 was credible. That was the conclusion of the EU report.
Then you haven't read all the reports. The Human Rights Commission of Pakistan.
You can cherry pick the most negative. I'm telling you that the EU monitors, highly respected, independent monitors, looked at everything that happened in Pakistan and they concluded that Imran Khan's victory was credible.
Imran Khan, own interior minister, tells the whole world that Mr. Sharif would have been 4th-time prime minister if he had not got trouble with the establishment.
You see, Imran Khan may be unpopular in Pakistan now, but when he heard what Nawaz Sharif said last month at that rally, when he directly targeted the chief of army, Imran Khan said this. He said, how dare Nawaz Sharif point to the general and blame him for what is happening in Pakistan when for years Mr. Nawaz Sharif polished the boots of a former military dictator. When Imran Khan said that, I dare say he actually had a great deal of sympathy from many Pakistanis who know hypocrisy when they see it. Nawaz Sharif was working hand in glove with Pakistan's military dictator, General Zia. What kind of hypocrisy is that?
No, I disbelieve this analysis. Frankly speaking, I disagree with you. Maybe evolution process.
Evolution process?
Yeah, because
Oh, you mean because then he was in power and now he's out of power, so he's really angry with the army because they won't work with him?
No, it's not the first time.
पाकिस्तान में मुआशी मुश्किलात और कोरोना का चैलेंज दरपेश, क्या आप ऐसे में लंदन में बैठकर हुकूमत गिराने की मुहिम चलाकर बहरान पैदा करना चाहते हैं? हार्ट टॉक के एंकर स्टीफन के सवाल पर इसाक डार की आएं बाएं शाएं बोले, हम बहरान नहीं नालायकी की बात कर रहे हैं। एंकर इसाक डार को इमरान खान की कामयाबियां गिनवाते रहे।
He tweeted a message saying that Imran Khan, and I'm going to quote your words,
please.
personified fascism. Now, Imran Khan has stood up for Pakistan's interests in a very tough stand against India and Mr. Modi, which you well know. He has also conducted a foreign policy which sees deepening economic ties with China, which is precisely the same policy that you followed. He also is trying to use Pakistan's influence, it seems, to bring the Taliban to the peace table in Afghanistan. What is it about these policies that you think personifies fascism?
Well, I think that perhaps you haven't studied or you haven't had the time to look into what fascism he's doing.
Listen, I'm just trying to get you to respond to a simple question. Pakistan is where it is today. But hang on. Okay. Imran Khan has a 5-year mandate. He won the election. Now you have a choice. You have a choice. You can wait to fight the next election if you choose to go home, frankly, but at the moment you're still in London. You can either fight at the ballot box during the next election, or you can try to undermine Imran Khan and his government from the sidelines, from here in London, and thereby create new economic and political instability. Is that the choice you've made?
No, it's not a matter of political instability. It's a matter of incompetence.
मुशीर दाखिला और एहतसाब